As we continue exploring Burwash, we find ourselves inside one of the most overlooked parts of the entire complex, the power plant. Standing in front of these massive boilers, it's incredible to imagine the amount of energy it once took to keep this place running. It's easy to forget that prisons like Burwash weren't just rows of cells. They were self-contained institutions that had to generate their own heat, hot water, and power, especially during Northern Ontario's unforgiving winters. Today, everything is silent. The gauges have stopped, the switches no longer control anything, but looking around, you begin to appreciate just how much life once depended on this room. Leaving the power plant behind, we come across something we weren't expecting. A hallway completely consumed by darkness. Yo! With nothing but camera lights guiding the way, every step becomes uncertain. The concrete is slick beneath our feet. Cold water stretches across the floor. Okay, just FYI, there might be a raccoon or something. So if you see something, I'm gonna freak out too. But just know it's probably a small animal. Yeah. And beyond the reach of the flashlight, there is nothing. It's strangely quiet in here. Every footstep echoes through this tunnel. Oh, Chris. Dude, look at this. Dude, you fall down that, you're done. It's amazing how quickly your senses begin to change. In complete darkness, every drip of water, every echo, and every step suddenly feels much louder than it should. Oh my God.
Further down there.
Places like Burwash naturally have become the focus of countless ghost stories over the years. What's in there? Paranormal investigators have explored these exact same hallways, claiming to have heard voices and footsteps, and unexplained sounds deep within this abandoned prison. One of the more well-known stories comes from a paranormal investigation in which investigators believed they had communicated with the spirit of a former inmate, someone they claimed had been imprisoned here for murdering their mother. Whether you believe stories like this or not, standing in this place, surrounded by complete darkness, it's easy to understand why places like Burwash continue to capture people's imaginations. There's literally traps everywhere. One wrong step here could easily mean the end of our exploration. For a moment, it's surprisingly easy to lose your sense of direction until something ahead begins to look familiar. I see light. Oh, okay, dude.
This is where we started.
Yeah. Oh my God, okay, this isn't so bad. Without realizing it, we've come full circle, emerging back into the flooded basement we had explored in part 1. Honestly, I've never been so relieved to recognize an abandoned room. But I've never seen that part of the basement before. Whew. As we continue searching for our way back upstairs, we come across what appears to have been the prison's mailroom. It's hard not to wonder what passed through here. Personal letters from families, official prison records, and perhaps the only connection inmates had to the outside world. Today, it's just another forgotten room disappearing in decay. One of Burwash's most fascinating chapters wasn't just inside these walls. It was outside them. Over the years, several inmates attempted to escape the prison, disappearing into the endless forest surrounding the institution. But escaping Burwash wasn't as simple as getting over the fence. Beyond them stretched hundreds of kilometers of rugged Northern Ontario wilderness, where isolation itself became another barrier to freedom. Many were eventually captured, while stories of others became part of the prison's folklore. Whether completely true or embellished over time, those stories became yet another layer of Burwash's history. I can't get over how small the cells are. At least this one has a decent view. I still remember seeing signs as a kid on Old Highway 69 warning people not to pick up hitchhikers. All right, I think it's time to start heading back. As we were making our way back toward the exit, we came across one final section of the prison that feels a little bit different. Unlike the cell blocks or the industrial parts of the prison, this appears to have been primarily for staff. There's what looks like a reception area offices, and even a small kitchen where employees probably gathered during the day. Walking through these rooms, I couldn't help but remember that my dad had worked at this prison long ago. My dad had worked at Burwash as an addictions counselor. And standing here, I couldn't help but wonder, was this where he reported to work in the morning? Was this the front desk that he would walk past? Were these the offices where he met with inmates, listening to their stories and trying to help them with their struggling addictions? Knowing that someone in my family once walked these hallways completely changes the way I see the place. It reminds me that Burwash wasn't only defined by prison bars and punishment. It was also a workplace, a place where nurses, maintenance workers, correctional officers, counselors, and countless others came every day simply to do their jobs. That human side of Burwash is so easy to overlook, but I think it's every bit as important as the prison itself. Back to the bugs! With the exploring finally behind us, there was only one challenge left, getting back through the forest. And honestly, I think the mosquitoes were just as determined to keep us here as the prison was. That walk was no joke. After getting mauled by bugs for an hour, I've never been happier to see these train tracks. You know, I don't think I'll ever look at Burwash the same way again. I came here expecting to explore an abandoned prison. Instead, I left with a much deeper appreciation for the peoples whose lives crossed paths here. The staff who kept the place running, the counselors who tried to help people find a different path, the families that lived in the town of Burwash, the inmates, and the decisions that ultimately brought them behind these walls. Even my own family became a small part of Burwash's history. When people think about abandoned places like this, it's easy to focus on crumbling buildings, the ghost stories, and the darkness hidden within. But after walking through it myself, I think the most fascinating part of Burwash isn't what was built here, it's the lives that passed through it. Because long after this building has disappeared beneath the forest, that's what will remain, the stories. And I think that's the part of Burwash I'll always remember.